Today on Public Eye News, Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan plans to run for governor in 2026 and cut ties with the Democratic Party. And later, a transgender rights case has reached the U.S. Supreme Court. A decision could set a new precedent.
The one and only Beck Beerley has an eye on the cold conditions across the Upper Peninsula, and later, Reed Hall is bringing the heat in today's Public Eye Sports Report. I'm Bianca Kroll.
And I'm Bradley Seaborg, and this is Public Eye News. Mayor of Detroit Mike Duggan has announced his run for governor of the state of Michigan in 2026. Duggan has been mayor of the Motor City since 2014 and is credited by many with the revival of the city after it emerged from bankruptcy. Despite Democrats gaining a majority in both the state Senate and House just 2 years ago, the state flipped to Donald Trump and the Republicans in the 2024 elections, leaving the Democrats scrambling. Duggan, a longtime Democrat, has announced that his gubernatorial run would be as an independent to offer a choice to voters who are tired of both parties. The move to independent also lets Duggan avoid a potentially crowded Democratic field, which could include Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist III, and potentially even U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who recently relocated to Michigan. And Michigan's 15 public universities have submitted a supplemental funding request in hopes to strengthen the state's economic future and workforce development capabilities. The request comes after Michigan fell to 41st in the nation for higher education funding per capita. In 2000, Michigan was ranked 24th. The universities are asking for a 2.5 increase in ongoing base support and conversion of 1% in one-time funds to ongoing funding. They say the investment will make college more affordable and increase degree completion rates, along with improving campus safety and student support services. And Michigan has been selected for the MIT Regional Entrepreneurship Acceleration Program, MIT REAP. This is a global program that was launched on November 24. This program will engage exchanges of global practices and frameworks developed by MIT. These collaborative conversations and actions will accelerate innovation-driven entrepreneurship in Michigan. MIT REAP is an initiative that helps communities around the world to supercharge innovation-driven entrepreneurship and ecosystems and transform economies. The program employs a more team approach for MIT research and insights. Governor Gretchen Whitmer said, "Michigan is a home for dreamers who are chasing bold ideas and believes this program is growing the leading nation."
The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy launched the second cohort of the Michigan Healthy Climate Corps. MHC Corps is a program dedicated to developing a capable network of climate professionals. 31 MHC Corps members will work through October 2025 to develop practical resources. The program will also bring clean energy and sustainability to the state. Phil Roos said that the MHC Corps members will gain valuable workforce and leadership skills with this program. Some local communities are Intertribal Council of Michigan and Sault Ste. Marie, Marquette County, Michigan Environmental Council Marquette, Northern Michigan University, and Superior Watershed Partnership Marquette. And Act 10 has been overturned by a Dane County judge in Wisconsin. It's a significant win for public workers and teachers unions. Reporter Samantha Petters has more. Take a look.
Act 10 was passed under then-Governor Scott Walker in 2011. A collective bargaining reform, the law put restrictions on what public employee unions are able to negotiate with government agencies. Now, the legal battle continues. President and General Counsel of the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, Rick Essenberg, responded, saying in part, "Today's decision is based on reasoning that was rejected by the federal courts years ago and departs from the way in which Wisconsin courts have handled equal protection cases. Not only does this put taxpayers back on the hook for billions of dollars, it opens the door to allow judges, whether they be liberal, conservative, or otherwise, to undermine the legislative process." After a ruling by a Dane County Circuit judge, former state Senator Dave Hansen reflects on the 2011 ruling, saying it was a scary time. And on February 20th, 2011, Hansen and 13 others fled the state to deny the state Senate a quorum.
We decided as a group, the 14 of us, to take off to Illinois. And we hit a few different locations in Illinois. We thought we'd let the public know what was going on.
He went on to say people should have the right to bargain, they should have the right to have decent wages and benefits, and this is a step in the right direction.
It was about protecting the rights of public employees, and I was a 20-year City of Green Bay public employee before I became a state senator. So I understand it's a positive thing for the working men and women of the state, and maybe we can return to where it should have been and should never have left us back 13 years ago.
In Green Bay, Samantha Petters, Local 5 News.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with your weather and national news after this break.
Can you imagine us? We're all so excited seeing the Statue of Liberty.
And the parents said, you have to go to America because there's no future for you here.
And so they came. Millions of Jews, and brought with them incredible personal stories. Don't miss the upcoming special, The Jewish Journey, America.
Tonight at 9 on WNMU TV.
Hello and welcome back. My name is Beck Burley and I'll be giving you a public eye weather report. Taking a look behind me at the campus rooftop cam, it's looking a little sparse on campus, a lot of snow on the ground so far, but let's take a closer look at our conditions around the UP. Starting up in Houghton, we're looking at some snowy conditions with a current temp of 21. In Ironwood, it is 17 with the same conditions. Down in Iron Mountain, it is 29 with some more snow. And down in Menominee, it is 34 and rainy. Taking a look at the eastern side of the UP, over in Escanaba, it is 30 with some cloudy conditions. Over in Manistee, it's 31. And in Sault Ste. Marie, it is 28 and snowy. Back in Marquette, it is 29 and snowy. Taking a closer look at our conditions, we can see some winds out of the west-northwest at 7 miles per hour with a barometric pressure of 29.32 inches and falling. Tonight, we can see some more snow with a low of 19 and winds out of the west-northwest at 23 miles per hour with a lunar phase of a waxing crescent. And tomorrow, we can see some snow with a high of 27, a low of 16, and winds out of the north-northwest at 22 miles per hour. And looking ahead, this Friday we have a high of 25, some snowy skies and a low of 19. And this Saturday a high of 34, cloudy skies and a low of 30. And things are starting to heat up. On Sunday it's a high of 41, cloudy skies and a low of 34. That's all I have for weather. Back to the desk.
Thanks for that weather report, Beck. Looks like winter is well and truly here. Now for our national news. The Supreme Court will hear arguments in its second major transgender rights case today, a challenge to Tennessee law that would ban gender-affirming care for minors. The case will be heard by a court dominated by conservatives following an election where Donald Trump promised to remove protections to transgender people. Rallies from both sides of the aisle were held outside the courthouse hours before the hearings. Previously, the court had ruled in favor of Amy Stevens, who was fired from a Michigan funeral home after she informed her employer that she was a transgender woman. The Biden administration and those challenging the Tennessee law implore the justices to use the same analysis they did in the Stevens case. The issue lies in whether the law violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, requiring the government to treat similarly situated individuals the same. The Tennessee law in question bans puberty blockers and hormone treatments for minors, but not across the board. And General Motors' Chinese joint venture's poor performance has forced the company to take a restructuring charge of more than $5 billion in the fourth quarter of this year. The Michigan automotive manufacturer will cut its equity into the ventures by $2.6 billion, down $2.9 billion from when it reports early next year. For years, GM owned 50% of the joint venture that regularly turned out equity income, but a dramatic swing to losses this year has forced the company to restructure. The ventures lost a total of $347 million from January through September, a near complete inversion of the $353 million profit they had earned the year prior. When the market opened today, shares of the Motor City automaker dropped over a full percent, but remain up 47% so far this year. And scientists claim they can now turn what many consider to garbage into valuable energy. CBS's News' Leah Mishkin has more information on what they've accomplished. Take a look.
Pakistan is one of the largest producers of bananas in the world. Farmers sell their fruit, then have to pay to take the leftover stems to a landfill, or crops get burned, making the air dirty and dangerous to breathe.
In Pakistan, generally we produce a lot of banana waste in a year. We are talking around 1 million tons of banana stem waste.
So teams of scientists in Pakistan and England have spent more than 5 years developing a solution.
We're trying to generate clean and green electricity from that waste.
The secret lies within this machine, which is fed banana stems and other crop waste to power up to 50 homes in rural Pakistan.
What's happening here in Pakistan, you can ultimately bring this to other countries.
Yes, 100%. Recently, we had a project with Uganda.
Dr. Gibran Khalik and his team believe their innovative project can tackle many different aspects of pollution by clearing landfills, cleaning the air, and cutting water consumption in the fashion world.
If you manufacture one t-shirt, you would be using around 2,000 to 2,500 liters of water.
In the past, this thread-like material taken from banana stems was used to make low-cost products like rugs and sacks. He sees much greater potential.
So we can create t-shirts, we can create denim out of it that has a bigger value that can be added towards the country's economy.
Turning waste into power and a brighter future. Leah Mishkin, CBS News, Newcastle.
And we'll be right back after this short break. Stay tuned.
I'm R.C. Davis. Join me, Jewel, Michael Crawford, and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra in an enchanting tale about a runaway and the caretaker of an old, abandoned theater who takes her on a musical journey to turn her life around on a snow-filled Christmas Eve.
Tuesday night at 8.
Welcome back. I'm Reed Hall here with your Public Eye News Sports Breakdown. Tipping things off on the hardwood were the Michigan Wolverines upset 11th-ranked Wisconsin for their first Big Ten win of the season. It was the Wolverines' two big men, Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf, who stole the show in this one, combining for 44 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 blocks. The praise of Michigan's offensive versatility was tested last night, overcoming a scoreless performance from Trey Donaldson, their lead scorer on the season. The Maize and Blue entered the half down 32-26, but outscored the Badgers by 9 in the second half to win by 3. Wisconsin suffered their first loss of the new campaign and first conference opening loss since 2017. Michigan will be back in action on Saturday at home against Iowa. And staying on the hardwood where the Detroit Pistons suffered an ugly loss to eliminate them from the in-season NBA Cup tournament. In a win-and-you're-in scenario, the Pistons could not overcome Giannis and the Bucks, losing 128-107. With the Bucks' win, they advanced to the NBA Cup quarterfinals to take on the Orlando Magic. For the Pistons, Cade Cunningham led the way with 23 points in what was a cold shooting night for Detroit from behind the long line. It was a disappointing end to a surprise 3-0 start to Cup play after the Pistons failed to win a single Cup game a season ago. The handcart will keep pumping, however, as the Pistons will play visitor to the Boston Celtics tonight, looking for their 10th win on the season. And skating on over to the NHL, where the Red Wings are still in search of consistent success. The Wings took on the Bruins last night, blowing both a 1-0 and 2-1 lead to lose 3-2 in overtime. With the loss, the Wings moved to 10-11-4 on the season, good for 8th in the wildcard race. The Wings' dead last penalty kill plagued them once again, giving up 1 goal during the man disadvantage after allowing 2 last game to the Vancouver Canucks. Detroit is currently down to their third-string goalie, Ville Husso, who was peppered with 35 shots on goal after a porous defensive showing from the Wings in front of him. As frustrating as the season has gone for Detroit, star Lucas Raymond extended his point streak to 8 games while scoring 7 goals over his last 7 games. The Wings will look to stop a 2-game skid on Thursday as they will take on the Ottawa Senators. That's all the time I have for sports. Back to the news desk.
Thank you, Reed, for that sports update. I'm very sad to hear that the Wings are not doing the greatest still, but I hope they can get it together.
Me too. I really hope they can turn things around shortly, but I hear you have one more story for us.
Yes. From the Oxford Dictionary, it has been made official that brain rot is the word of the year. Oxford University Press said that the phrase gained popularity in 2024 with its frequency of use from the previous year. The definition of brain rot is a supposed deterioration of a person's mental or intellectual state, especially viewed as the result of overconsumption of material. The word was chosen from the combination of a public vote and language analysis. While the word may be new, the actual first recorded use of the word was in 1854.
That's certainly quite the word. That's all we've got for today on Public Eye News. I'm Bradley Seaborg.
And I'm Bianca Kroll.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.